today we're going to be talking about multiplication. I don't know if that's spelled correctly.
It is.
It is. Yay! So, we're going to be talking about multiplying by ones first. Do you want to explain to them how that's done?
Yes, so multiplying by 1. Okay, so we're going to have this set out. So we have the number 1 multiplied by any number under 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
That's not on camera. Yeah, you're right on the edge, so you have to go on the other side.
1 times 2 will be 2. And then 1 times 3 will be 3. So basically anything times 1 will be the number itself.
So for some examples, 1 times 5 will always equal 5. And then 1 times 8 will always equal 8. Times 4 always equals 4. And then so on for every number under the sun that you multiply by 1.
Right.
So let's...
Can we add in 10? Because sometimes they'll be like, oh, a 1 times a 1, 0, what? And then
Yeah,
so
1 times 10 always equals 10. And the special rule applies that anything times 0 equals 0. So an easy way to look at that is the 10's on top times 1. This 0 just comes on down here. And then these 1s are like that. So it's just a simple 10 is 10 no matter what. So how about some test type questions?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
no, let's just do. So let's see. I'll go 1 times 12 equals what?
So let's think about this. Here is a visual example. Well, this is all visual, but this always helped me. Like I thought of 1 as like a mirror, and the number. For instance, the number 12 would be looking into the mirror, and it would see its reflection, which is the same number. So.
Don't actually.
So think about that example and figure what you think the answer would be. Yeah.
Okay, adding on to that, we'll be learning how to multiply by 2's. So 2 times 2 equals 4. So this may seem kind of easy to some because 2 plus 2 equals 4. So this is a good example of how they can both like kind of match each other, but it's very different at the same time. So if you would think 2 times 3 equals 6, you're just adding 3 twice. To think of it like that way to make it easier. Hopefully they can see it. But that is just a way to multiply by 2's. An example could be 4 times 2 equals what? So maybe using the addition example that could help you figure out what 4 times 2 would be.
What could it be?
What is it? Okay then. Where are we at in time?
It's like 4:20.
I wonder how much.
If you want to write more, anything beyond the 6,
No.
well, actually on your left side of the 6 is what you can draw in between. Like,
Another example would be 8 times 2. If this is a more advanced problem for some that are getting the hang of it, so you would just again use the example of adding 8 plus 8 and getting your answer.
So probably ugly 8.
I draw ugly as I do. And that's how you do multiplying by the number 2.
So do we put this on the YouTube? Yeah. So if we want to quickly cover multiplying by 5s, it's a little bit more difficult because 5 is such a big number, but it's actually quite simple due to how the 5 is set up. So like we've been talking about, 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 5 is 10, and so if we were to go 5 times itself, it would be 25. And basically, anything multiplied by 5 always ends in a 5 or a 0. So if you were to have 5 times 3, you get 15. And again, it ends in that 5. 5 times 4, 20, ends in that 0. Most of them are alternating. 2 ends in a 10, in a 0, 3 ends in a 5, 4 ends in a 0, 5 ends in a 5. So you can think of that like, if your answer is correct, does it end in a 5 or 0? The easier ones, you can add up to that, make sure. They're also counting by 5s. So 10, 15, 20, 25. Just, there's a lot of ways to make sure it's correct. So an example problem.
We're about to hit 7 minutes. Okay. I don't know.
5 times 6 is 30. And then for you guys at home to test it, it's going to be kind of a big number. 5 times 9. What does that equal?
And to help you out, you could also, like with the other examples, besides the multiplying by 1, you can always add 5 plus 5, and then you would get that. And then 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So if that could help you out by learning that, this would be more of a cakewalk for you.
Multiplication is basically taking this number and adding it to the number that you're multiplying it, adding it by the number that you're multiplying it. So it's really just 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 9 times. It's just a lot less paper and a lot more simpler to write it 5 times 5.
And once
Well,
you
5
get
times
it, you got it.
Super simple.
You got it. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Push button again to end. What in the
It's in.
world? It won't do it. Push button. You gotta hold it.
I've been holding it.
Push button again. You're